A warm welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us here on ETV. It's the morning show. You're right on time. Listen, over the last few years, Nigeria's economic boom has given rise to a new breed of Afropolitan professionals. Young and dynamic, they've led the charge, which has seen Africa being taken more seriously as a player in the global economy. And for those of them, like myself, who cannot find time to do household chores, Smartmaid is the solution. We are sitting in studio live right now on the morning show here on ETV with the founder of the app, Utata Abbas Al-Hassan. A very good morning to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Lehan, for having me. Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming through. Really interesting app. Let's talk about where the idea for Smartmaid came from, firstly.
Thanks. It started from the fact that you have parents that are struggling to get credible housekeepers, house babysitters had been a challenge.
Yeah.
I remember when I had my children, it was really, really tough.
Yeah.
And in some cases, they are not just reliable when you get them. So we just thought, why can't we develop an app that can help parents out? And
had you gone through the experience of picking someone off the street? Because usually when I drive out of my place, there's usually people sitting there with boards. I'm a plumber, I'm a sitter, I can do your washing or laundry and things like that. And some days you are really desperate and you pick one of those people up, say, okay, I'll give you a day or two because my person is away because of COVID. And then you find out later that actually maybe we shouldn't have done that because I don't have a reference for this person, for instance.
Right. So, and that is exactly what this app was meant to address. We don't pick anyone from the street like you have described.
Yeah.
For you to be a provider on the platform, we'll get your ID, which will confirm. Okay. You have to have a police clearance. You have to have a training certificate and a reference. All these documents you upload on the app seamlessly once the provider registers. So, and it's after we are satisfied that we know these people before we activate them on the system for them to start serving.
So this is like a vetting system of sorts?
It is. It is. And it's very important. That is what we are selling here. One, to professionalize that business so that people can take pride in what they do.
Right.
And also to ensure that if anything goes wrong, we are able to trace whoever was sent to your house.
Because we had a horrible experience when we still lived in Kleporchi. We hired a helper. We were still kids. The one time we came back and they had cleaned out my dad's house. They'd gone with everything and we couldn't find them. They were traced back to Lesotho or someplace like that. And we had never found them or the furniture. And this is years ago, obviously, way before technology.
No, like I said, that's what we are trying to address. Even if you are a foreigner in South Africa, you have to have a work permit or asylum certificate.
Right.
So we don't just onboard anyone on the platform.
There's a way of tracing the provider.
Definitely.
Should something go south.
Correct.
Are these educated people?
Very educated. The app is on the App Store and the Play Store.
Yeah.
And they have to download and upload their document. They have to register.
Yeah.
And for you to register, you'll have created an email,
right,
password, and all that for you to enable you to get on the platform. So these are educated people. Even students can be providers on a part-time basis.
Oh, you mean like varsity students?
Yes.
Okay. What's the criteria then?
Similar, you have to provide your ID clearance certificate. You have done a training. The training usually take about 5 days, and there are trainers all across South Africa.
Right.
And so it doesn't take. It's not too tedious.
I've just downloaded the app, and I'm going to go through the entire registration process now. Right. What do I, as a customer, get when I first log on?
So you're going to, it will ask you to provide your email address.
Right.
And after providing your email address, you have to provide you have to input your password, and the app automatically registers you and send an email to your email box.
Okay.
You are good to go.
So right now we're in Randburg. If we were looking for someone to come and clean our desk here, for instance, we could find them on this app.
Definitely. At a touch of a button.
It would give us someone within the radius of where we are. Are those things taken into account?
Very much. So because we're still registering, we have over about 800 providers and users on the platform now. We're aiming for 2,000 by the end of December. Okay. So the more we onboard provider, the lesser the time becomes. So the idea is to have someone that will come to your place within 10 kilometers of the radius where you stay. Okay. So these are not people that will travel from very far places.
Okay.
Yes.
And for people in like townships and things like that, you've got providers there as well, wherever you are in South Africa.
We do. Currently, we are operating fully in Johannesburg. We are onboarding providers in Cape Town and Durban currently.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about the cost implications. I mean, what does this cost me as a customer?
That is the other benefit of this app. Because if you were to have a sitting babysitter or a housekeeper, you need to provide accommodation, you need to provide feeding, you know, all the things that go with that. So with this app, it's pay as you go, and it's per second billing. So if you requested and you got someone, they work for 1 hour, you pay them 1 hour, they are gone. So there's no hidden cost. What you see on the app actually shows you the rate that is charged per hour. Okay. And it's per second billing.
Let's talk about those rates. I mean, I've got a little baby girl right now. She's about 16 months. If I were looking for a sitter for her, what sort of rates am I looking at?
It depends on how long you want the sitter for. If it's an hour, for instance, for those that for the babysitters, which they get about 50 rand per hour. Okay. So if you use, for instance, 8 hours, 400 rand, and that sounds reasonable to me.
And does the age range of the baby that you're babysitting matter for the provider? So if it's an infant, if it's a 5-year-old, if it's a 10-year-old, etc.
So the app is calibrated along the line of the number of babies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if it's
irrespective of their age.
That is correct. And like I said, these are trained people. So we won't send a babysitter to your house that is not trained.
Right.
You can, even when they arrive at your home, you can ask them, where were you trained? And they will tell you. They've got certificates, training certificate to do this job.
What's the feedback, as we wrap up our conversation, from the customers who have downloaded the app and the providers who are on the app?
Each time we talk to users, it's like, wow, this is what we have been waiting for. This is what we have been looking for. Why didn't anyone think about this before now? Right. It's been amazing, you know, the type of response we've been receiving. Dr.
Al-Hassan, thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with us this morning. He was talking about the Smartmaid app, where you can literally book someone to come and babysit or come and clean your house with a touch of a button. What a solution. Very much needed. I know I can use this. We're taking a quick ad break here on The Morning Show on ETV. Stay with us.